For 31 years, Walter Higgins pushed a broom down the same hallway every single night. The people of Millbrook, Ohio, knew him as the quiet janitor at the county school, the man who fixed the leaking faucet without being asked, who never missed a Sunday at the Little Baptist Church on 5th Street, who drove the same rusted-out pickup truck for 2 decades because he said a truck that still ran was a truck worth keeping. Nobody in that town ever looked at Walter twice. He wore the same flannel shirt through 3 different decades. He clipped coupons at the grocery store. He asked the butcher for the cheapest cut of meat every single week without fail. And when he passed away quietly in his sleep at the age of 79, the whole town showed up to his funeral, expecting nothing more than to say goodbye to a kind old man who never had very much to his name.
They were wrong. Every single one of them was wrong, because 3 days after they lowered Walter Higgins into the ground, a lawyer from Columbus walked into the town hall carrying a leather folder, and what was inside that folder would change the way an entire community understood the man they thought they knew. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Because what happened next in Millbrook, Ohio is the kind of story that makes you question every single person you have ever quietly walked past in your own life. Walter Higgins had $11 in his checking account the week he died. That much was true, and that much the town already knew. What they did not know was that Walter had a second account, one he opened back in 1974 with a single $100 deposit, back when he was a young man fresh out of the army with nothing but a duffel bag and a determination nobody could see just by looking at him. He never told a soul about that account, not his neighbors, not the men he sat with at the diner every Tuesday morning, not even the pastor who visited him twice a week in his final year, holding his hand and reading him scripture, never once suspecting the truth, sitting quietly in a Columbus bank vault. For decades, Walter took a portion of every single paycheck, no matter how small that paycheck was, and he placed it into that account without fail. He never bought a new car. He never took a vacation. He never once complained about the cold walk to work in the middle of an Ohio winter, even when his knees had grown too stiff to bend the way they used to. He simply kept working, kept saving, kept quietly building something that not one person around him had any reason to imagine. And when the lawyer finally opened that leather folder in front of the stunned faces of the Millbrook Town Council, the number he read aloud made grown men go completely silent in a room that had, only moments before, been filled with the soft murmur of condolences. $4,112,000. That was the number. That was the fortune Walter Higgins had built $1 at a time, in complete silence, for 31 years. While an entire town looked right through him without ever once wondering what kind of man could live so quietly and still carry something so enormous inside him. But the money was never the real story. The real story was the letter. Folded neatly behind the bank documents in Walter's own handwriting was a single page addressed not to a bank, not to a lawyer, but to the town itself. And what that letter revealed about the reason Walter Higgins spent 31 years hiding a fortune in plain sight is something none of them ever saw coming, and something we are about to walk through together, piece by piece, from the very beginning.